These words come directly from Brie Cristiano, the Director of Customer Support at Gorgias. The best case scenario is quickly answering the customer's question. Even if you can't solve the question right away, letting the customer know you received their inquiry is great for customer confidence and satisfaction. In other words, no one likes to be left on red, which is why first response time is high on the list of important metrics for your CX team to measure. In this chapter of our KPIs and Metrics course, we're going to cover first response time, why it matters, how to calculate it, some industry benchmarks, then finally, 5 tactics to help improve your time. There's also an article on the Gorgias blog that covers all this and more, so don't forget to check that out. The link is down below in the description. First of all, why does first response time matter? Let's look at the facts. First, 90% of customers in the United States consider receiving a prompt customer service response to be either significant or extremely significant. Furthermore, 60% of customers expect to receive a response within 10 minutes. What this means is a near immediate first response time is extremely important for 90% of shoppers. And if you fail to respond within the first 10 minutes, you risk leaving over half of your customers feeling disappointed. It's important to note that customers typically ask pre-sales questions or questions that give people more information about your product before they make the purchase. These are questions like, will this arrive before Christmas? Or which size is right for me? A swift response becomes instrumental in these situations. When you provide shoppers with the information they require to make an informed decision, it bolsters their trust and has the potential to significantly enhance conversion rates. Most importantly, first response time has a ripple effect on 3 other support metrics that can boost your revenue. Resolution time. A quick first response often translates into a swift resolution, inspiring customers to describe a positive shopping experience with your brand. A lower return rate. Being on top of questions, particularly pre-sales ones, equips your shoppers with the confidence to make informed buying decisions. When customers are educated, there's a lower chance of return. Higher conversion rate. Having a chance to speak to customers also gives you the chance to upsell and lead them to checkout. Customer satisfaction. Customers love fast responses, and when you deliver, your CSAT goes up. So to answer why first response time matters, it's because satisfying customer experiences directly link to increased revenue and long-term brand loyalty. How can you start using first response time? Well, the first step is calculating it. Start by examining your support tickets. Compare the timestamp from when a ticket was received to the time a support agent responded. The time gap between these 2 points represents your FRT. For instance, if a ticket arrives at 8 a.m. on a Monday and an agent replies at 8 a.m. the following Tuesday, your response time amounts to 1 day. To take it a step further, you can monitor first response times over specific intervals or attribute it to particular agents to gauge the average response times. Simply add response times over a designated period, then divide it by the total number of tickets during the same time frame. Here's what the equation looks like. Total first response time during a time period divided by the total number of resolved tickets during a time period equals your average first response time. On Gorgias, you don't need to do the math. You can find first response time in the statistics overview section, along with other metrics like average resolution time, tickets created, and more. Now that you have your FRT numbers, what is the best first response time? According to Gorgias' data from 2023, over 13,000 brands had an average first response time of 7.6 hours. This means customers got answers within 1 business day. However, how quickly you should answer tickets depends on the channel, whether you're responding to a customer from social media or email. Here's a guideline of what is and what isn't acceptable of an FRT based on channel. Remember, each channel comes with different expectations. Live chat is a real-time channel where shoppers expect an answer within a minute or 2. Otherwise, they would exit your website. Compare this to an email, which is slower. So now that we've covered why first response time matters, let's cover 5 ways to get your first response time down. The first and most efficient way to lower first response time is by automating responses to repetitive questions. Doing this has 2 advantages. By automating responses through a help desk, you essentially achieve a first response time of 0 seconds. Second, it reduces the amount of tickets directed to your support agents, giving them more time to answer more complicated questions. I know, automation is a challenging topic in the space, but I truly believe Figuring out the right balance leads to happy customers. Remember, automate the repetitive tasks so your team has more time to focus on customers that really need that human touch. Even when automation can't directly address customers' question, it can still serve as a form of reassurance by acknowledging the receipt of their message and letting them know that agent help is on the way. Here's a real example. Berkey Filters, the seller of water filtration systems, wanted a fast way to answer text messages because SMS is a channel where people expect answers within seconds. So they used Gorgias to create a rule that automatically replies to all SMS messages. The message starts out by thanking the customer for reaching out, along with their hours of operation to give the customer a general estimate of when to expect a response. It seems like a minor detail in theory, but this simple step goes a mile with customer satisfaction. The third tactic is to respond to high priority tickets. Here's a chart we built to serve as a guide for ticket prioritization. Low priority tickets are frequently asked questions like, "Where is my order?" or "What is your shipping policy?" Medium priority tickets are questions about a recent order, and high priority tickets are questions sent from instant messaging channels like SMS or live chat, questions about order cancellations, and negative reviews. Of course, you may find that a different sorting method works best for your customer. So adjust these definitions based on your needs. The goals are to meet customer expectations while prioritizing tickets that have the biggest impact on revenue. At the end of the day, we want our CX teams to have a positive impact on the bottom line. Email support is known for its slower response times compared to other support channels, and customers are well aware of this. They understand that emails don't warrant instant responses, unlike live chat or text. That said, if you want faster first response times, consider deprioritizing email by introducing live chat. Additionally, it's a good idea to build a help center and encourage customers to explore self-service solutions so they don't need to wait for an agent to give them an answer. The key here is to leverage email as a stepping stone to guide customers to faster channels. Berkey Filters, for instance, uses an automated response strategy to inform customers about faster support alternatives. They even provide a link to their help center. What this does is empower customers to seek solutions on their own while reducing the need for agent intervention. This tactic saves agents a ton of time, so make sure to take note of it. I saved my favorite tactic for last here. Macros, macros, macros. You'll save your team so much time if you set up effective macros or pre-written responses that you can use for common customer questions. Instead of typing out the same response over and over, or copy and pasting scripts, use macro. A help desk like Gorgias creates templated responses that you can pull up whenever you come across a ticket with a frequently asked question. These macros are handy and can be populated with customer data if you have Shopify or other e-commerce platforms like WooCommerce integrated. We've come to the end of the chapter, so let's recap the top 5 things you should know about first response time. Number 1, first response time is important to 90% of shoppers. First response time leads to faster resolution times, lower return rates, higher conversion rates, and better satisfaction scores. The average first response time is 7.6 hours. Aim for this time or faster to match industry standards. However, keep in mind, FRT depends on the channel you're responding from. Automating responses is the best way to cut down your FRT. And lastly, stop copy-pasting your responses. Use macros instead. That's all in this chapter. If you made it to the end, thank you for watching, and feel free to check out our YouTube channel where we cover a variety of other topics in e-commerce. If you landed here through our KPIs and Metrics course, stick around. We have a few more topics to cover. I'm Daryl, and I'll see you on the next one.